Hey guys, welcome back. Today I wanted to talk about harmonics and three different types of harmonics. Of course, everybody uses harmonics and most people know what they are. Just a quick overview, and I think I did this in one of the other technique lessons, but harmonics, basically, Pythagoras was the one who put some formulas around the harmonics. And basically, if you take any string and you divide it in half, you get an octave up. If you divide it in a third, you get an octave and a fifth. If you divide it in a quarter, you get 2 octaves up, and then you get like major third, and all through the harmonic series. Basically, you get like a Mixolydian mode, all of the major scale notes. And some people, like Heinrich Helmholtz, I think his name was, really postulated that was why we have our major scales, is because the harmonic series basically outlines a major scale, all the notes of a dominant scale, depending on the root note of the chord itself. Okay, anyhow, enough theory on that. Let's get down to the business of harmonics themselves. There's basically three different types of harmonics that people commonly use. The first one is the most obvious. It's the roundabout thing. So all I'm doing is just hitting and touching. Now, here's the key on these harmonics. When I play them, if I play directly above the fret, that's where you get the sound of them. If I'm back just a little bit, you'll hear they get very dull. So you can't place where your finger normally would be. You have to place directly above the fret. The other thing is, if you're in your rear pickup, you get a little bit better harmonics, oftentimes. You'll notice that series doesn't really work because it's directly above on a strat, that pickup. So if I do these harmonics, they don't work, but if I do this, so it depends on the harmonics you're trying to get, but those are your basic harmonics. And then you can sort of figure out what chords you can get sounds for. So for instance, if I played a D chord, I might do around these 5th fret things. If I'm playing an A chord, I don't have very many notes that I can use on this A. I can use the A note, E notes. I can sometimes use the B if I'm doing like a B2. The C sharp note, though, is a really hard one to get. So you can get that, but it's a little bit more difficult to grab. If I was playing an E minor chord, it's really easy because I have all of those notes are good notes. Okay, so you get the idea. You try to work out some of the chords and the notes that you can use. Typically, they're sharp chords that are going to work. When you get into like a B flat chord or something like that, you're just not going to have any notes that are usable for that chord. Even something like an F chord, the only thing that you really have is the A note that I can use. So I try to use harmonics over top of the chord, or at least related to the chord that makes sense on the chord. Okay, enough on that one. I think you guys mostly understand those. The second type of harmonic that you run across a lot of times is false harmonics. A guy named Lenny Breau was amazing at this. Eric Johnson's pretty amazing at it. And what you basically do is you play an octave above where you're fretting a note. So let's say I'm taking the note A on the G string here. What I do is I tuck my pick most of the time, although some guys will do it with the pick and with their fingers, which is okay. But for this case, I'm going to tuck my pick. I'm going to use my thumb to pick the note, and then directly above a note an octave up. So I'm going to go A an octave up. I'm going to pick the note. So I'm lightly touching the string. You probably can't see it well, but I'm lightly touching that string an octave up. The same principles work for this thing. I can go up a 5th and up a 4th, and I'll get those notes. I'm not getting it very well, obviously, but you get the idea. So I can play any notes that I want on the guitar just by doing these false harmonics. Okay, now that obviously is a really big advantage. Let's say I have a weird chord that I don't really have any harmonics for. I can still do my false harmonics just an octave up, and again, all I'm doing is plucking with my thumb and then playing the notes. Eric Johnson, Lenny Breau both do some things that are really cool, but I'm going to show you one easy example here that I can do. If I bar an E minor 11th chord. So it's all first finger except for the second finger on the B string. If I do the notes, you hear I got all false harmonics. Now, if I do a note, then I can do 4 strings away a note. So on my G strings, I'm going E, G, A, B, D, E. And then the G string and then backwards. That's obviously a really beautiful sound. I think on the beginning I did something like... fretted that E note with my 4th finger. Okay, and then something that, so that's the second type, those are false harmonics. The third type that you hear a lot of guys do, especially now a lot of acoustic slapping type of guys, they'll just take harmonics and they'll slap an octave up. If you have distortion on, it works great. So if I have the notes A, D, and F sharp, and I hit A, D, F sharp, octave up, or with my middle finger, you hear those sort of sounds. And it's really cool if you're like... You can get that sort of sound. Van Halen used to do like single notes. Sloppy as all get out, but you get the idea. I'm hitting like these individual notes, octave up, and it gets this really like nice vibe, especially when you have distortion on. Okay, so those are 3 different types of harmonics: natural harmonics, false harmonics, and slapped harmonics. So I hope that helps. God bless until next time.